From the video. Today we're just going to quickly go over my trades so far this week. So let's just get right into it. So I know I am going over like a trade breakdown and doing an analysis, but the real purpose of these videos is I want to show you guys the consistency and the process about which I go through these trades and how I think about it when I'm actually trading. I also just want to highlight some things I'm doing correctly, things I'm refining, and even mistakes that I made that I probably could have changed at the moment just looking in hindsight. So I just want to really highlight the process of how I go about it and what it's like to do it when I'm in the moment. So I'll just go back to Monday, the replay button here. So I was looking at it, I talked about some of my weekly breakdowns, looking for price to push down to either this order block or this small imbalance here. It's from a long time ago, probably a few months, probably like January or late December, that I found this area in. And I was looking for it to push down, hopefully give us something eventually, but I saw that in market open, it gave us this interesting area here in the 15-minute based on sweeping this liquidity, pushing up and breaking this swing high, and then leaving an order block and some imbalance here. So at market or session, a New York session open at around 9:30, I saw that it pushed down and mitigated this order block finally in the 15-minute. So I went down, I thought maybe I can get a quick buy from this area. And you see the mitigation here. And it formed right before the macro. The entry was like 2 minutes before the macro, so I took the entry here, and it just shot through. It was just a valid loss. Nothing I can do about that. It just happened. So I followed all the confluences I could have followed with the 15-minute. It had the mitigation. It happened on the 1 minute. It gave a clean entry. It happened right before the macro time frame, the 9:50 macro. Not ideal, but it's still pretty valid. It just didn't work through this time. Granted, there is a lower imbalance in area I was looking for it to push down towards to, and eventually it did, but just, valid loss, you move on to the next trade and see what happens. So stayed with it, started doing a new analysis, found this new area right here with this sweep of liquidity, or this swing high, or this buy side liquidity, and it breaks these swing lows and it leaves a lot of imbalance, and then an order block right here. It looks a little cleaner than 30 minutes, so I use this area for the order block. And then we see that it was pushing back up, and it pushed back in this area around 11:50 macro. And this is the part where I can talk about an honest mistake, or let me not say mistake, things I could have done differently, because this was a valid trade. Here it pulled into this area, it gave this little move right here. I just didn't take it because it wasn't really in the macro time frame. I just wanted to wait and see, because I was thinking it could easily just push back up into this area, or mitigate this order block here. So I just wanted to exercise a little bit of patience. So I went and took this trade because this was really close to the macro, and I thought it was a little more convenient. The issue here, or the mistake I would say, is I was trading when I was on the go. At this time frame, I was out and about. I was just driving, going to different places, doing different things. And I set the order, and I couldn't really analyze it fully, or like I go through my normal process of doing it on two different brokers. And in this broker, I set my TP at a different level than the standard deviation, and it didn't hit take profit basically on this broker, but on another broker that I would analyze well normally, it hit take profit there. So I set the wrong take profit level based on this based on this chart or this broker, and it hit this TP, which this should have been the TP, this 1.5 standard deviations. Should have been the take profit, but I didn't set it there. I set it lower at 2, and it didn't hit. It just reversed. So this should have been a win, but it ended up being lost, and I shouldn't have just traded. I shouldn't have taken it, since I was just on the go and I couldn't focus and fully do everything I wanted to. So in hindsight, that's something I would have done differently. I probably would have just not taken this trade, or just missed out on that profit, but it's okay. Just go to the next trade. It'll be another opportunity. And literally we see it here. I marked these continuation setups here. I didn't take these. I was just busy at this area, so I didn't get to take this trade. And yeah, another opportunity here. I was just busy too. I was on the go again. Missed this trade. It's all good. You move on to the next trade, it happens. There'll be more opportunities. But it's been a okay week so far. It's only been 2 days, I know, but it's been an okay week so far with how the market has moved. I haven't executed the best these first 2 days, but it's still not the worst week I've had so far. It's been okay. This should have been a win, so I should have been at least 1 for 2 on these 2 trades, but it's okay. It made a slight error, but these definitely could have. If I did take them, I would have been 3 out of 4. So the price of market is moving really good, just didn't execute good on Monday. So going back today for Tuesday's trades, looking at the process again, I saw that I had that area I was interested in. Thought I was going to push it to this order block here, it never did. So pushed down and mitigated this area I had marked up on the weekly, or marked up on my weekly trade preparation video. Pushed up here, or pushed down here during the Asian session last night. It was really stagnant, consolidated a lot. No entries were given, and then pushed down and it formed more areas that I was interested in during early New York session and late London session. So see the sweep of liquidity here, and it breaks this upside or the swing high and leaves a lot of imbalance and a good order block here. So I was looking for price to return to this area potentially, and it pushed down and hit it around the 9 or 850 macro, but no entry was given. It had a small reaction, I believe, like really small, and then just shot past it. So it's looked past that. So yeah, this was the reaction, just continued shooting down. So once I saw it was no trade there, I just went and looked for the next possible formed area of interest, and this was one I also had marked from the weekly trade breakdown, and it was literally from like November. It's from months and months ago, so it's really far back that I was looking for this area to react to. And it pushed down and left this imbalance and swept this swing high again, and then broke these swing lows and left a lot of imbalance. I was looking for a price to probably react to this area, then push up into these areas and give us some sells. I was hoping to take a buy here, but no buy formed, and I'll go and show that real quick. So yeah, we see here valid accumulation, good manipulation, taps to this area, breaks to the upside, but doesn't leave any imbalance. So I didn't enter there. So it does tap back here, but it was no imbalance, so I just didn't enter there. Would have been a really clean buy, but again, no entry for me with no imbalance. I just didn't take this trade, this buy, just because it was like the lunch hour. It would have been a valid buy to take, but I was mostly just focused on trying to catch these sells because they were heading to these prime areas of supply here. So in that imbalance, I just wanted to wait for it to hit there, and it did. So in the afternoon session, I called it out in our Discord. I said I was going to look for sells once it's tapped into this area. So it tapped here, and see this small accumulation here with all these inside bars, manipulation, then distributed to the downside. And I entered in here because how I used to trade, or how I've been trading the past few months, I know I had like a unconscious rule of always trying to enter the last formed imbalance here. That what that does is it sets you up to have a larger range for risk to reward and a larger like stop loss and take profit. So prices to move a lot more in order to hit your targets. So it's not ideal, but sometimes whenever price does like push like this, have a lot of momentum, it does do you benefit to entering right here because you don't want to miss the trade sometimes. But in this case, I'm thinking about, this is something I would do different. I'm thinking about refining where I set my entries at and trying to set them at lower imbalances. So if I do that, in hindsight, this trade would have been entered in up here, and it would have hit take profit, or actually it wouldn't have been taken because it would have hit take profit before it was tagged in. So just something I would probably do different. I'll touch a little more on another example. So I saw this trade here, I entered in at this imbalance here, then you see another opportunity here in the macro, and it's a continuation trade that I took. It's a little accumulation here. You see this sweep of liquidity right here of the swing highs, then it broke down to the downside, a lot of momentum, and I just entered in again at this accumulation or this imbalance here. Valid loss in like 2 minutes, so valid loss there. Then I entered in one more time here, this continuation trade. It formed really clean, so I just took an entry here and it went through. So once I saw this push down and it started consolidating here, this trade I actually closed early, which is something I really don't like ever do. I hate closing trades early because you don't know what's going to happen next. It could have just pushed down, pushed up, or did whatever it wanted to do. But I just closed it early because I wanted to mitigate it for this loss, because I was already up for the day based on this trade. I just wanted to mitigate it on this loss and cover that, especially because I took 2 losses yesterday, so I just wanted to cover that, not putting more money at risk. So yeah, it still technically would have been active right now if I was in this trade, but like I said, looking back on how I could refine how I take my entries, I should have probably set my order back at this imbalance, this first imbalance here, and I wouldn't have even been in this trade because it would have hit my take profit way before the entry was hit. So therefore I wouldn't have taken this trade, and I probably wouldn't have taken this trade either. So it's all good. It's part of the process of refining it and just being consistent with it. So I'm trying to figure out, or trying to at least refine how I want to take my trades and be consistent with it. This is about 2 weeks going on with trading how I do now with how I take advantage of the 15-minute and 30-minute. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of showcase the process of which I go through these trades and how I'm going through my own steps and checklist for every single trade, and just showing you guys how it's going for the week and how it's being consistent with it. So yeah, it's been a pretty smooth week without prices moving. Just haven't executed the best these 2 days, but still I'm actually a little up for the week just based on that win. And then I closed this one a little early in profit, so I am kind of up for the week just based on proper risk management practices. So it's all good. It works out in our favor. And yeah, actually I had this marked up too. I just didn't take this trade just because I've already taken 3 today, and I ended up on like over trading. So I didn't take it. It probably would have been, well, still would have been in the trade actually. So we'll see if it pushes down or up. Maybe it'll give something during the Asian session, maybe not. We'll see, but I didn't take this trade, just monitoring it, seeing what it gives us. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. I can give a little sneak peek for what I'm looking at for tomorrow. So tomorrow, since same kind of process, I see a sweep of liquidity here, push the upside, breaking this swing high, leaving some imbalance here, but it's an unmitigated order block either here or here based on the 15 or 30 minute. So I'm looking for a price to push down, sweep all of this liquidity, and give us probably a buy move either during London session or early New York session tomorrow, or I'm looking for it to push up and mitigate this 15-minute imbalance or this 15-minute order block here, and then we can sell from this area. And yeah, this was based on 30-minute order or imbalance, I should say, and that's why I was able to take advantage of these these sells. So that's what I was potentially, or that's how I reacted for that today, and that's what I'm looking at for tomorrow, just a sneak peek into that. So with that, I'll wrap the video up here. I didn't want it to be too long, just wanted to show those processes and how it's going for the week with actual results. So I'll see you guys next video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Check out the other content on the channel, and I'll see you guys then.